The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious Internet Championship.
Welcome in one and all, Clout Missioner, Captain Tyrion Guidal, the most dashingly handsome pirate in all of professional wrestling, here on the commentary booth as per usual, and we are getting right into it with a Sold Clout Championship match tonight. He was victorious in the Battle Royal last week. The unpredictable Steve Sparks has earned himself a shot at Abel Theron's Sold Clout Championship. This does, of course, mean, as you may have guessed, we are bookending tonight's show with two championship matches. Our main event later on this evening at the top of the show, our Sold Clout champion Glix will be defending against Teresa Dominguez. Will we see two new champions as we move into this new era of all-influencer wrestling, or will the dominant reigns of both Abel Theron and Glix continue? Sparks out here by himself. Usually he's been accompanied by either Brock or Phantom. He is going it alone today. And here he is since day one. Abel Theron. The dream has yet to be broken. Of course, speaking of Brock, we cannot forget that there are two drama bombs lurking, waiting to be dropped. Brock holds one, Presery D holds the other. We see Sparks there stalking his target, that Sold Clout Championship, the reason that everyone is here, that most valuable of currency. Nothing matters here on the internet more than clout. And Abel Theron knows that. He knows that target on his back. The unpredictable Steve Sparks has come within grasping distance of that glory himself in the past.
At 68 pounds, Steve Unpredictable Sparks. And his opponent from Avalon, weighing in at 150 pounds, he is the prestigious Internet Champion, The Dream.
Of course, later on this very month at our next premium live event, All Influencer Wrestling Overboard, many clout chasers will get their shot at getting a title match with one of these two champions, whether it be Sparks or Abel, whether it be Glix or Teresa. And we are off. Sparks locking up, gets the better of the initial exchange, knee to the gut of Theron. And following up with Big Boot, hauling him up. Sparks dominant out of the gate, working the chest of Abel Theron. A high flyer taking down the legs of Theron is probably the smarter way to go with this. Sparks instead focusing on the upper body, trying to take out any striking offense of the Dream, who really has yet to get any form of offense in. Sparks knows that he may not get a shot like this in some time. He has to capitalize on this. He has to show through. And up and down goes Theron. Tying up, wrenching the legs. Look at the way the neck of Abel is pressed against that canvas. He is struggling to get back to his feet. Rolls out the way though, and boom, there, out of nowhere. That signature quick strikes out of nowhere. That is how Theron has held on thus far, but Sparks, studying the tape, he was ready for that. He's back to those legs, like I said, take those out, eliminate that high-flying offense of Sparks, over Theron, excuse me. He rolls through, punching straight into that face. He manages to fight his way out, but he was in that hold for a great deal of time. Down though, DDT, goes for the pin. Only a 1 count. Trying to go for that victory out of nowhere. There's that athleticism though, once again. Spin around and corkscrew, down goes Sparks in the middle of the ring. Now this flurry of offense, and despite the damage done, Theron's athleticism on full display, but the sheer power of Sparks overcoming anything that Theron's been able to throw at him thus far. Quick counter by knee. And running DDT into the mat. Down goes Sparks. Theron trying to get that momentum going. Boot to the spine. Sends a message to Sparks, but Sparks right back to his feet. He's ready to go. And a big neck breaker. Down goes the Dream. Is this going to be it? No, not even a 1 count. It takes a lot more than that for this Dream to turn into a nightmare. Rapid strikes by Theron, backing away into the corner. Baited Sparks over, but I think he biffed the landing there a little bit. Didn't quite work out the way Abel wanted. And up, and oh, able to work through, and quick chop block to the back of the legs. Send Sparks down, and boom, another DDT down. Is that going to be enough? We got 1, 2, and kicks out at 2. Sparks taking a moment to recover, and big double kick to the back of the head, and Theron up to the top rope. This is where we see him work that magic. Flying elbow, damn near from one side of the ring to the other. Sparks rolling out, trying to get a little bit of a moment to recover, but that is a dangerous position with the Dream, and over he goes. Sparks knocked down to that ship's decking, and Spinaroonie from the Dream. He is starting to have fun now. He is lighting up that crowd. Bounces Sparks right off the turnbuckle. Backstabber from Theron to Sparks. Oh, Sparks though dodges that blow. It's not enough though. And again, the back of Sparks driven down into that wooden decking, followed by double knees to the face. We have seen a complete momentum shift in this match. Abel Theron dominating Steve Sparks now. And DDT right onto that wood. Refs at a 7 count. Sends Sparks over. Theron, is he going to accept a count-out victory? Nope. Up to the top turnbuckle, and over he goes. Big splash. Down to the outside of the ring. That's going to do a lot of damage to Theron as well, but his body crashing Sparks between the decking and him. Sparks, though, now bouncing him off the ship siding. And bouncing Abel Theron's head off of that now. Sparks needs to get this competition back in the ring, though. Ref is up to a 6 count. Yeah, Sparks needs to break that count. Theron still recovering. Sparks has got to get back outside. Is he going to make it? Victory by countout. Sparks takes the victory.
Here is your winner, and new prestigious.
And under The new rules here in All Influencer Wrestling, a count-out victory does count for a championship change. Brutalizing Abel Theron. The unpredictable Steve Sparks brings Theron's reign to a crushing end. The dream has turned into a nightmare for Abel Theron. But he is called the unpredictable Steve Sparks for a reason. Abel Theron has held that Soul Clout Championship since the very inception of All Influencer Wrestling. But now, finally, Steve Sparks holds the clout. Though he has a very large, very badger-shaped sword of Damocles hanging over his head. In our main event later on, will Glix fall to the same fate, or will our chromatic champion retain once more? But before we get to that, we have plenty of other hard-hitting clout-chasing action. We'll be right back with multi-man action after these short messages. Hi, I'm Captain Tyrionth Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Limsa, and the Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Tyrionth Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Welcome back to Fatal 4-Way action here at All Influencer Wrestling, giving a showcase to many who did not get into the Battle Royals in the opening show of the season. One such man making his way down now.
Making his way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 219 pounds, DC.
The Hatomancer himself, producer to the stars, DC Lasser, looking to produce a victory here tonight. Though he has 3 other competitors in the ring, he's going to have to fight his way through to get there. Winner of this match will be very well positioned to make a case for themselves, having a shot at that coveted last spot in the Rumble matches later on this month.
his opponent, first from overseas, weighing in at 215 pounds.
You know him, you love him, gyrating his way down to the ring. The turquoise tiefling himself, Tiff. Tiff and his tag team partners Averick and Ashapol yet to really make a case for themselves as a unit here in All Influencer Wrestling, though Tiff and Averick recently finding themselves embroiled in a bit of a rivalry with Sparks and Phantom, though with that victory in our opening match, you have to wonder how that is going to shape things up. Will the Phantom continue to ally himself with Sparks? Or is he going to argue for a title shot of his own, and would Sparks be willing to give it to him? As the lights go down, the ominous music hits. The witch hunter of All Influencer Wrestling making his way down to the ring. A real enigma is Gabriel Van Hessel. That intimidating Plague Doctor's mask, never seen without. Makes it very, very hard for his opponents to get a reading. Hailing from Vatican City, nobody really knows what Van Hessel is after outside, of course, the same thing that we're all here for, that all-important clout. Here to beat the absolute holy hell out of all the rest of his opponents. This is not somebody you want to see striding down towards the ring in those final key minutes of the Rumble match. Tiff waiting on the outside. An absolute contrast in styles, in just life philosophy between Tiff and Gabriel. The Hatomancer DC Lasser, of course, also waiting on the outside of the ring. Very impressive hats between both Van Hessel and Lasser, now that I think about it. But of course, there is one last entrant to go in this match that will make of this three-way the four-way it's booked for. You met him last week, and here he comes.
And representing the Syndicate from New York, weighing in at 220 pounds.
LG Rhythm. The new ally minion. We really have yet to establish how their dynamic works, but shown in the service of Metrics, LG Rhythm now making his solo debut here at All Influencer Wrestling. Assisted Metrics in a victory over Battlestar Galactica last week, but then destroyed by the reunited Team Tank main of Battlestar Galactica and Chris Caneas. No sign of Metrix herself in the building tonight. Algae Rhythm striking out on his own, this key half of the Syndicate. He has spent a great deal of time, I am sure, analyzing all three of these competitors, all of whom would love to defeat the Algae Rhythm. Though in a match like this, there are no friendships, there are no alliances, everyone needs to keep eyes in the back of their head at all time. This match only requires one pinfall, one submission for victory. Could come out of nowhere at any time. And it looks like we've got Tiff and DC kicking things off immediately, and Tiff pounding Algae Rhythm down, going for the pin out the gate, Van Hassel not allowing that to happen. Big crossbody off the mid-rope there by the Hatamancer. Tiff playing to the audience, and that's gonna cost him as Algae Rhythm has him up on the shoulder, spins around, and down goes the Tiefling. Takes a moment to bait the audience himself. Tiff took full advantage of that. Tiff and DC back in control again. Over goes Van Hassel, and down onto the knee of Rhythm goes Tiff. Neckbreaker from DC. Working the arm of the Witch Hunter Van Hassel. There's Algae Rhythm though waiting, grappling with the Hatamancer, and up he goes. That Hatamantic magic of DC preventing the hat from falling off, but able to wriggle free. Suplex to Rhythm, and one to him in return by Van Hassel. Rhythm on the outside waiting for his opportunity. Lock him back up and down again over that knee, wrenching the back of Van Hassel. DC rolling to the outside to take a moment to recover. And oh, DC has gone hunting. He's got the kendo stick. Perfectly legal in a four-man match are those weapons. Algae Rhythm had it scouted though. Knocked that kendo stick right out of Lasser's arm, and down goes Tiff. DC waiting to take full advantage of that. Traffic collision there between Lasser and Rhythm. Oh, what does the Hatamancer have in place here? He is wrenching over an interesting submission maneuver here by the Hatamancer. Rhythm able to wrench around though. Elbow to the face breaks that hold. Tiff is right there to pick up the pieces. The Witch Hunter Gabriel Van Hassel on the outside, waiting, letting his opponents pick each other apart before making his attack. And there it is. Big double boot to the Tiff's back sends him almost head first into the turnbuckle there. Lasser going for another weapon. He's got another kendo stick out. And Van Hassel there again. Two kendo sticks in play at some location. Oh, and big bear hug. Crushing the ribs of Tiff. We have that kendo stick just lying there in the middle of the ring, waiting for anyone to grab it and use it. And up goes Lasser. And over. The power of the Algae Rhythm. And down goes Tiff. DC back in play, and oh, the back of Van Hassel went crashing down right there onto the side, the hardest part of the ring. Oh, DC going for the pinfall. I think Van Hassel was trying to break it up. Algae Rhythm got involved, but Tiff nonetheless able to make that 2 count. And kendo stick back in the hands of Rhythm now, and cracks it over the head of Van Hassel, who nonetheless falls to his feet. Barely felt that, it seems. Powerbomb to Rhythm by Tiff, and Van Hessel now picking apart those steel steps, cracks into the face of the producer to the stars. Seeing stars now is DC LeSaire. Shakes it off though, ties Van Hessel up there against that ship siding. Oh, Tiff able to counter that maneuver there by Algorithm, and he's got that kendo stick. Whacks it into the face. Go Tiff. Tiff doing what all of us wish we could do. And the steel chair comes. Not sure who pulled that out from beneath the ring, but DC is wielding that to impressive advantage. Countered by Van Hessel, but those two caught up. We've got the pin going in the middle of the ring. Tiff not able to score a pinfall. Could have had a great opportunity there though, while DC and Van Hessel are tied up with each other on the outside. And just bouncing that wooden stick off the ribs. Love to see it. We love to see that. But there we have a big lariat. The Algorithm cannot be kept down for long. Tiff back to his feet after that. And bounces Al's head off the corner. We have effectively split this match into two separate ones now, but with Tiff keeping Algorithm in that ring. Very solid ring awareness by our orphan tiefling. Van Hessel seemingly more interested in just destroying DC. Tiff is tuning up the band, and good night, Al. Sweet chin music. 1, 2, is that going to do it? Tiff scores the victory. Sends Algorithm down to Avernus. The Witch Hunter, though, seemingly setting his sights on DC LeSaire, paid no attention to what was going on in the ring. Those two just absolutely going at it. Celebrations back in Team Chaos's locker room. Averick and Ashapol must be watching this on with joy, with cheers, with drinks, as their dear friend Tiff claims victory. Strong showing for Tiff. Metrix cannot be thrilled to have watched her new ally fall like that. More action, more hard-hitting clout chasing continues right here after these short messages.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the center. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
Welcome back from that break. We have another clash of styles here for you up next.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from New York, MJ.
MJ Fairhaven, the mother of pain. Chaotic, unpredictable, unknowable. This manic, monochromed, outfitted mistress here to just cause sheer chaos, it seems.
From parts unknown, Jen.
We saw late last season the furious return of Jeneth Astorio. Tearing her way through the division, she has returned to All Influencer Wrestling, and she has her eyes set on reclaiming that $1 shillion championship currently around the waist of Aria Night Valley. Jeneth is primed and ready to turn that Aria into a funeral dirge. And she is looking to punch a hole through the Mother of Pain in order to get there. These two, though, have shared a ring before, and the Mother of Pain is incredibly difficult to prepare for. You never know what she is going to pull. You never know what she's going to do next. An impressive showing of strength by Fairhaven there. Not many can lift Jeneth like that, but she's able to do it, working over the legs of the larger opponent. Is that strategy from the Mother of Pain, or is it just instinct? We will never know. That pinball-like athleticism. Kicks, and over she goes and uses Jeneth's own center of gravity against her. And a big crossbody from the top, immediately looking to end the match, but only a 1 count. Takes a lot more than that to keep Astorio down. It has been said that trying to fight the Mother of Pain is like trying to fight one of those bouncy rubber balls that somebody has chucked into a squash court. She reverberates off of the ropes, off of the ring, but that knee up there, Jeneth got that counter in. and just wrenches the Mother of Pain up by her face and boot then to the face. No flips, no fanciness for Astorio. She will just punch you until you stop moving. Just like that, knee to the face of the Mother of Pain. Dives out the ring, baited the Mother of Pain there, ducked under that lariat, but up she goes and face plant into the wooden deck. Counter, though, by the Mother of Pain. She's able to do that, sends Astorio into the ship's decking, and scissors takedown. Not enough, though, to keep Astorio down, and just shows off that strength. That delayed suplex, and down goes the Mother of Pain. Pulled back to her feet. Astorio sends her back into the ring. I have to imagine that, unlike Spunks earlier, Astorio will not be happy with a count-out victory on this one. Big boot to the face again, just trying to kick the head off the Mother of Pain, it seems. Hoying her over the ring like a sack of potatoes. And just wrenching. A leg is not supposed to move that way. Ties her up in knots. Just driving that neck down into the canvas at an ungodly angle, but leans over a little too far. Mother of Pain able to capitalize. Big swinging DDT. Astorio's head bounced off the canvas hard, but only a 2 count. Mother of Pain now back in control, trying to keep that momentum going. She cannot allow Astorio to find her feet again. She's got to keep this offense going. If Astorio gets those feet planted again, just like that, that spells trouble for Fairhaven. Up she goes again, showing off the view. One-handed and down, crashing comes the Mother of Pain. Boot to the face though for the trouble. She's able to counter. And again drives the head into the canvas. But right there by the ropes. Doesn't even try for the rope break though. Astorio powering out of that pinfall. Reposition. What does the Mother of Pain have in mind now? Elbow to the face is what she had planned. Whips Astorio into the ropes. Over she jumps, and oh, good use of momentum there by the Mother of Pain, hoisting Astorio, up, keeping that offense going, not giving Astorio a moment to recover. Oh, but countered that maneuver. Only a 1 though. The elasticity, the rubber-like mentality of Mother of Pain just bouncing right back off. Ducks under that blow, but oh, wrenching the neck off the top rope. Oh, ducks under, and there we go. Big swinging scissors. Crashes down. Sends Astorio back into the ring. I wondered if she was going to try and bounce her off the ship's siding there again. Vaults over the top rope. And again, bouncing the head of Astorio off the canvas. Really trying to almost cause a concussion here, it seems. And big drop kick to the head as well. Clean in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. That did it. An unexpected victory. The Mother of Pain puts down Jeneth Astorio, who may well be concussed after those blows to the head repeatedly. We saw it there, those running double boots, and that was enough. I think Astorio might be knocked out.
Here is your winner, MJF.
You cannot take your eyes off of Fairhaven for one moment, or that is what happens. Medical personnel in the back will be keeping an eye on Astorio to make sure that concussion protocols do not need to be enacted. We will check on her later on and be right back with you after these short messages. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Need to pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? So we're going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on. We're so close. Lift. Come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! Welcome back for triple threat action this time. Another multi-competitor match. We have some absolute powerhouses on display for you now.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making our way to the ring, representing Team Bring It, from parts unknown, the Warrior Princess.
Will the team of Amon Orphans go 2 for 2? Tip victorious in the 4-way earlier. Will Ashapal be able to come out victorious in this triple threat now? That would just leave their halfling companion Averick needing to establish himself again as we go into this fresh season. Two opponents for Ashapal tonight, and here comes the first of them.
And her opponents, first, from Queens, New York, the Punisher, Victoria Holland.
Queens is in the building tonight. Victoria Holland making her way down to the ring. An absolute powerhouse, legend of the New York indie scene, which, as you well know, has a dominant presence here in All Influencer Wrestling, which we are going to be seeing in our main event later on tonight. As somebody who Victoria is very familiar with, Teresa Dominguez makes her claim for glory against Glix in our championship match main event. Victoria, one of the newer additions to the All Influencer Wrestling roster, still trying to really figure out her place here. A win on this match tonight would go a long way towards doing that.
And from parts unknown, B.
Valoran Anastasia, the assassin of All Influencer Wrestling. Formerly a partner of Pressery D, that partnership seemingly dissolved when Pressery sacrificed Valoran to claim the Drama Bomb briefcase. Up against two significantly larger opponents is Anastasia tonight, but that is an environment in which they thrive. They are quite likely to wait for Asha and Victoria to beat the hells out of each other, and then will slip in with a sneak attack and claim victory. We've seen them do it multiple times in the past. Will we see a repeat showing here tonight? Archibald, of course, no stranger to coming close to clout victory herself. Teaming with Mary almost became our inaugural tag team champions, seen off though by Team Candied Ginger. Victoria working both the arm and the leg simultaneously here of Anastasia, and there's Asha right there ready to capitalize. Big running clothesline. Valoran wrenching back the neck of Asha. Victoria just let that happen. And Asha just grabbing the hair of Victoria Holland and clubbing against the chest. Tease up there. I think she saw Valoran waiting for that strike, veered off there a little bit at the last minute. Valoran tried to capitalize. Asha just overpowering Anastasia at every turn. You're not going to be able to do that to Holland, though. And there's exactly what I was talking about. Victoria bouncing Asha's neck off the top rope, and Anastasia right there swooping in with a quick strike to capitalize. Asha now grabbing those steel steps. Victoria Holland doing the same thing. Steel step jousting going on. Victoria got the better of it though. And as I predicted, Anastasia waiting in the middle of the ring. Just letting these two titans fight it out, and there she is to pick up the pieces, and crack down goes the face of Victoria Holland. Tried to do the same to Asha, but she was waiting for it. Bounces Anastasia off the corner there. Victoria comes in and head scissors cracks her down. Those powerful legs of Valoran. Not though able to withstand the sheer force of an offense by our warrior princess, Asha Ball. Asha just shoving away the tiny rogue. Victoria Holland sends Asha into the ring. Tried to take out the leg. I don't think Anastasia quite got all of that, and Victoria Holland is gonna make her pay for it. Over the shoulder and down onto the deck. Victoria now looking to put an absolute beating on Anastasia. Making a note, I really need to replace the chairs. We need to let the audience take those home tonight. Those chairs all have the old logo on them. I need to make sure that we get rid of that stock and get the new ones in. Same for that announce table. I'm just waiting for somebody to get put through it so we can actually get rid of it, but none of our clout chasers have really put that table to use this season. Hesitate to just throw away a perfectly good announce table. Maybe this will happen tonight. Of course, speaking of new logos, if you yourself want to take your claim as a clout chaser. We do have available shop.tyriant.com, named after, of course, me, your illustrious clout missioner, Captain Tyriant Guidal, the most dashingly ensign pirate in all of professional wrestling. We do have an inaugural sale going on right now, $15 tees, $20 long sleeve shirts, everything else is on sale. Shop.tyriant.com. Go and let everybody know that you are hashtag out for clout. Pummeling Valorant down into the deck. Trying to get a little bit of breathing room is Ashapal. Valorant, though, took full advantage of that momentary reprieve. There goes Victoria Holland's head off the ship's decking and back into the ring. And it's kendo stick time. Asha with a weapon in her hand is one of the dangerous sights here in All Influencer Wrestling. Cracks it over the back of Anastasia. I think Victoria Holland maybe has the same idea. She has already splintered the kendo stick. Only a 1 count though. Anastasia digging really deep for that. Just splinters covering the ring. And big running clothesline. Ashapal taking full advantage again. And head scissors takedown. Oh, Victoria Holland went for the boot there. Anastasia taking advantage, sending her down to the mat. We have Anastasia as the only one really standing. Ashapal on her feet, but barely conscious. Up, and look at the power of Victoria Holland. Not many can lift Asha like that. A running attack there by Anastasia. Asha taking a moment to just play to the crowd. And over she goes. Sneak attack there from Ashapal almost. Running clothesline sends Holland down. Is she going to go for the pinfall? Anastasia's down on the outside. Is that going to do it? 2? No. Victoria Holland powers out 2.5. This match continues to go on. Desperately hauling those steel steps to her feet. Anastasia bringing them into the ring now. Takes a lot of strength for her to do that. She does not have the sheer raw reserves of power that the other two do, but nonetheless, those rings are now in an incredibly dangerous position. Oh, kiss the ring. Good night, Valorant. Rolls through. She's got that grip around the waist of Asha still. Over she goes again. Release suplex. And is this going to be it for Victoria Holland? Is she going to claim victory? 1, 2. No, Asha still powers out. Valorant on the outside, she's got some plan. She's trying to set up, got more of those steps, shoving them into the ring once again. Cracked them off the head of Ashapal there, I believe. Asha slowly getting back to her feet. Headbutt from Victoria Holland sends Valorant crashing down to the mat. Basking, waiting. Holland's up to the middle rope and down. Crashing onto the prone body of Anastasia. Oh, and here we go. And down. Pedigree. Both opponents are down. I don't think Asha thinks that's enough, though. She's going back to those steel steps. Waiting for Valorant to get back to her feet. Oh, waited a little too long. Quick elbow strike. That's what you got to watch for with Valorant. You got to watch for that. And now she's hauling those steps up. That's going to be a mistake. Holland's got her hands on Valorant again. Hyping up the crowd is our warrior princess. Waiting to take full advantage of what Victoria has planned. High risk move like that, high reward. And hoists her up and powerbomb off those steel steps, knocks them clean out of the ring. That has to be it. 1, 2, no. Somehow Victoria Holland still had reserves of strength. Somehow that did not finish this match, but Asha's waiting for her to get back to her feet. Tried to go for another pedigree. Victoria had it scouted. We've got again that knockout punch. Over she goes. Is that going to be it? Is Victoria Holland going to claim? Nope, she's going back out. I think she's got her eyes on those steps. Nope, digging under the ring. Another oh, that's a sledgehammer. That is a sledgehammer, and it went right into the gut of Valor and Anastasia. Looking to just do more damage is Victoria Holland, but I think that may have been a mistake. That gave Asha the time she needed to recover. Blocked that running kick attempt there by Anastasia. Asha back to her feet once again. Some striking offense now by Holland. And running elbow from Asha. Victoria lighting up Asha Pol with that flurry of blows. Pushed back to her feet. Anastasia just dead to the world on the floor there. Big thumbs up from Holland. Oh, you should have stayed down, Valorant. Big boot to the face. Does Holland? Yep, she's got that sledgehammer once again, and into the gut of Anastasia. Back to the legs. Asha, though, back to her feet. Sends Holland crashing into the barrier. And face first into the wood. Asha now once again in a dominant position, but somebody needs to capitalize. Going back to those steel steps. Valorant in to try and pick up the pieces of Victoria Holland. Steps to the face for her trouble. Asha fully in control, but she needs to get one of these two back into the ring. As much as this offense on the outside is legal, no countouts, weapons are fine, but the pin can only occur inside the ring. Asha has to get this action back inside that ring if she wants to end this match. And exactly like that is how you do it. Takes a moment to hype up, though. That is a bold maneuver that I think is going to cost her. Look at Anastasia there on the outside, waiting. Big wind-up blow, and there go those kicks. Flurry, and down goes Asha. Victoria's, though, back to her feet. Strike. Rolls around. Anastasia now the only one on her feet, though. There goes Asha. Quick strikes. And down she goes. Is that going to do it? Is that going to do it? No. Asha gets the shoulder up at 2. Rolls out to recover. Victoria Holland now back to her feet. Ducks that sneak attack attempt from Anastasia, then who rolls out of the way of a boot herself. Face plant down to the mat. Asha barely able to foist herself back to her feet on the outside. Double drop kick from Anastasia. And look at that maneuver there from Asha. Incredible athleticism. Holland taking a moment to recover, and Asha trying to take full advantage of it. She's got her tied up in the corner, sends her from one side of the ring to the other, and big hip check from Asha. Rolls her over. Valorant, is she going to get there in time to break up that pinfall? Barely made it in time. Missed the first kick attempt. Able to get there with a double axe hand. Anastasia trying to slow it down, wrench the neck of Asha Pol a minute. Bit of a miscalculation there, I fear. Holland's back to her feet. Oh, and Holland there, I think, tried to use Anastasia as a weapon against the prone Asha Pol. Didn't quite get enough clearance on it. Just pounding the side of the head. Goes through, tries to go for a submission. Asha breaks it up immediately. None of these three are willing to give an inch. Oh, stunned Victoria. Didn't quite stun her for long enough. Didn't even get the 1 count. Underestimated how much more Holland had left in the tank there, I believe. And we're going back to those steel steps once again. Asha not letting that happen. Again, going back, grabbing the hair, club to the chest. And now Victoria Holland in a very precarious position with Asha standing over with those steps. Thinks better of it, though. Asha, I think, saw Valorant approaching out the corner of her eye. And off the corner post there goes Asha's head. Oh, a taunting there by Valorant. We do not often see that. Our assassin feeling very confident, and Victoria Holland makes her pay for it. Asha just lighting up Holland with those big blows. Valorant has both of her opponents now where she wants her, I think. Goes back to those steps. Takes a bit too long. Nope, Asha down. Manages to catch Asha right in the head with those steps, but now she has to get her back into the ring. Though Holland able to recover. Bounces Valorant off the ship's side. Asha's waiting, watching. Valorant sends Holland into the ring where Asha is waiting like a predator. Look at the height of that. Balls. Victoria Holland just damn near launched Asha into the stratosphere. I worried that that crack we just heard there may have been Asha's ribs under that relentless offense by Victoria Holland. Oh, she's got her tied up. This might be Asha's opportunity. This may be it. No, Victoria able to recover. Holland now in the dominant position. Rolls through. Tried to go for a submission, but Valorant back on her feet. Up she goes and over. Yep, keeps that waist lock cinched in. Going for the other suplex and over she goes. Oh, are we going for a third? We are going for 3 and down. Release suplex goes Valorant. Asha's back to her feet if Victoria can capitalize. And down crashing goes Asha, but Valorant's back on her feet already. Asha barely able to stand, needing to use the ring ropes just to get back to her feet. Good night, Valorant steps to the face. Oh, Asha baited that. Didn't work a second time. Still too much left in the reserves. Sneak attack attempt by Anastasia, but Holland too good, too powerful still. Too fresh. Somehow still after all of this. Asha breaks up another submission attempt by Victoria Holland. And over she goes. that has to be it. Holland's going for the pinfall. Is this going to be do it? 1, 2. That's finally enough. Victoria Holland putting away Asha for that win. What a hard-fought bout, though. These three left absolutely everything in the ring, and by everything, I mean most of their blood. An impressive show of strength time and time again by both Victoria Holland and Asha Pol. The opportunistic Valor and Anastasia desperately trying to take any opportunity she can. But we may not be in the East End, but we have a Queen Vic tonight. Victoria Holland putting the entire locker room on notice. We are far from done here tonight, however. We have 2 more matches left on the card. We have that much anticipated Sold Clout Championship match. Blix defending against the winner of last week's Battle Royal, Teresa Dominguez. But up next, tag team action. I think you'll find this one to be another interesting clash of styles. We'll be right back after these messages. Hi, I'm Captain Tyriant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Loomsolominsa, and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Tyriant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Wait, oh, fight is now an option. I'm sorry, I have a baseball bat? Oh, hold on, you're smoking. And welcome back for that promised tag team action. Things are about to get colourful and strike a pose. It's the Deadly Duo. Bob and Hank, looking to establish themselves in all influencer wrestling and really trying to help build out the burgeoning tag team division.
At a combined weight of 428 pounds.
Beautiful Bob and handsome Hank. Not afraid to go hard in the ring. Do not underestimate these two chromatic clout chasers. They will, however, have their work cut out for them tonight. As male models, they have to pay very close attention to their diet, and they're about to get served a whole big plate of beef.
At a combined weight of 998 pounds, the Monsters.
Benny driving the taking full frontal position here in RBFS, teaming with one of his two brothers. Frederico here watching on ringside. Reinhardt is the one who will be joining Benny in the ring tonight. RBFS charged their way into All Influencer Wrestling with a very dominant performance thus far. The most recent roster additions, they are here to tear a path through the division. And look at the sheer size difference. These three, enormous. You heard our ring announcer there. Combined weight of 998 pounds between these two. The Deadly Duo, however, are deadly for a reason. Over the shoulders of Benny, and down you go, crashing. Just that weight. I'm sorry, Frederico. You can tell the Reinhardt. Excuse me. Frederico's the one on the outside. You can usually tell because of the ties. Benny is the only one who doesn't wear one. Those elegant, monogrammed ties of Frederico and Reinhardt. RBFS absolutely stomping, though, through the Deadly Duo tonight. Quick burst of speed by Benny. He's not letting go. He is not letting up. And another show of strength. We've seen this a few times tonight from various competitors, and RBFS, no strangers to those impressive feats. Though, of course, we saw earlier tonight with Mother of Pain's victory, you cannot underestimate the smaller opponents. Kept up there by Benny. Just taking a breather there, leaning back into the turnbuckle. Wrenching the arm, excellent strategy there by one half of the Deadly Duo. And down, driving the snout of Benny into the canvas. Working over the arms, trying to remove some of that incredibly dangerous, powerful offense. A 2 count there. Benny taking his time, able to power out though. Tied up in the ropes. And up you go, and bouncing, just crashing down the chest over that top rope. Takes a moment to play to the crowd, but gave the opportunity for the tag. Ref is down. Ref is down. They're back to their feet. Using gravity against Benny there. Impressive maneuvering by Hank. And once again going for that spinning scissors. Bob back to his feet at last. Oh, double knee strike to the chest. Frederico desperate for the tag, and he gets it. I'm sorry, Reinhardt. Frederico is the one on the outside. Tying poor Hank up in absolute knots. Look at that from Reinhardt, the technician of RBFS. Of course, that doesn't mean he has any less power than his siblings. Bob on the outside there, trying to get the crowd on their side, in a very dangerous position here by Hank. Tag is made, double team offense. And oh my word, look at that. Sent poor Hank launched across the ring right into the arms of the waiting Benny. The heater of RBFS, and he is lighting up Handsome Hank right now. Just pressing Hank and down. That is a long fall from anyone but the sheer height of these Minotaur brothers. Benny thought about things for a moment. I think he was trying to figure out if he could grab both of the duo at once. Thought a little too long. Oh, and right around the throat, back up again. And quick snap down. Hank really considering if he wanted any part of attempting to break that pinfall up. Bob somehow able to power through. And goes for the tag. Hank is back in. This is an important strategy by the Daewoo. They need to keep each other fresh. They need to keep these quick tags and wear down one of these two brothers. Trying to go up to the top is Hank. And crashing down goes Benny. Goes for the pinfall. Oh, poor ring awareness though by Hank. Rolled him the wrong way. Rolled him towards RBFS's corner. Benny rolling to the outside. Top rope by Hank. Thinks better of it. Realizes a high-risk maneuver like that might risk impaling himself on one of those brothers' horns. Hank, a flurry of offense out of nowhere, lighting up Benny and using his own center of gravity against him, goes back for the tag. Bob is legal. Solid strategy here by the Deadly Daewoo. They need to keep Benny in the ring. They cannot let Reinhardt tag back in. Up to the top rope goes Bob. High-flying offense once again. And big, oh, missed the moonsault. Crashing down into the canvas goes Bob, and this is a problem for the Deadly Daewoo. Technical wrestling now by Benny, keeping that grip on Bob. Planting him down onto the ring. Bob, though, rolling towards Hank. Good ring awareness there by one half of the Daewoo. Powerbomb, though, down into the ring. Hank, is he going to go for it? Again, Hank very hesitant to come in and rescue Bob. Can't really blame him. But Bob able to dig deep. Found those reserves. Oh, this could be very bad for Bob. And I think our camera cut there just saved you all from seeing something extremely nasty. Divide and conquer by RBFS right now. Tired of the attempts at breaking up the pinfalls, Reinhardt taking down Hank on the other side whilst Benny works over Bob. Refs at the 6 count though. Benny back into the ring. I think RBFS might be totally fine with a count-out victory. Oh no, Benny going to the top rope. Splash off the top. My word. Bob's ribs must be absolute powder by now. And big charging bull crashes into Hank, who is desperate to break that momentum. Somehow he's able to do it. Hank planted into the ship's decking. Trying to light up Reinhardt. I think that's going to be a mistake for you, Bob. He's fighting back, but Hank is down for the count on the outside. Oh, he's back to his feet. Hank climbing up to the rope. He's going back to his corner. But Bob is in serious trouble right now. Reinhardt live. Oh, legal, excuse me. Reinhardt now going to the top, and oh, he's going to go for a moonsault of his own. Have you ever seen a bull fly like that? Hank, able to dodge out of the way of the charging Benny, saved Bob, but at what cost? Cattle kick sends Hank rolling to the outside. Bob's arm may be broken. Desperately trying to fight his way out, driving his elbow into the ribs of Reinhardt. Wrenches the wrist around. Desperately using gravity to his advantage there, sends Reinhardt crashing down, but it's not going to be enough. Good night, Bob. Going back to that technical expertise, and Pele kick from Reinhardt, my word. And vicious intentions towards Hank, onto the hardest part of the ring, down he goes. And charging cattle kick, damn near punting Bob's head into the bleeding nose seats. The Deadly Duo really proving their doability right now, but that is maybe not the greatest idea for the longevity of their careers. Bob, though, able to get the momentum going in his favor, but he is in a very poor position. Again, using a big flip gets Reinhardt's gravity knocked off. Stunned Reinhardt, but Bob is barely functional. Oh, Reinhardt playing possum there, I think. And yep, grabbed Bob's neck off and stomped as he halts over into the ring. Stuns Reinhardt again. Both down. Bob miraculously the first one back to his feet. Tries to knock Benny off the apron, didn't quite have the strength for it, but he's able to wrench his neck down. Oh, look behind you, Bob. Oh dear. Nope, somehow DDT. Benny's off the apron. Shoulder stomp. My God, could he actually do it? No, not even a 1 count. Goes for the tag. Hank is legal. Hank's had some time to recover. Benny's still recovering on the outside. They need to quickly tag. Work Reinhardt down. That's not going to do it. That is not going to do it. Rolled out of the way of that grapple attempt. And again, that incredible athleticism of Reinhardt. He's going to crack Bob off that ring apron now. Drops Benny back off the rope. Reinhardt, though, is waiting. Staring a hole through Hank. Hank tried to bait, I think, Reinhardt into thinking he was going to go to the outside. Reinhardt didn't fall for it, but able to swing that momentum around. Over he goes. Face plant down. Could this be it? I think Benny's still down. 1, 2. Not able to do it. Oh, don't taunt the bull, Hank. Goes for the pin again, but Benny is back in play. Rolls through. And my God, Canadian Destroyer by Hank to Reinhardt. Hank has found some reserve deep down, but there's the model mentality. He was playing to the crowd, and now Benny's back. Overconfidence by Hank. And Benny is making him pay. Plants his back right down into the canvas. Bob back into the ring, not of his own choice. And tag Reinhardt legal once again. Frederico on the side there, calling the shots, directing his brothers. Knock out punch. Good night, Hank. Boot to the shoulder for good measure. I think that's going to do it. 1, 2. Somehow, Hank kicks out. Hank is busted open. That knockout punch damaging those model looks of Hank, and that may well have made it worse. Crimson Mask. And we all know what happens when you show red to a bull. Down goes Bob by Reinhardt. Finally landing those double knees, though, does Hank. Reinhardt almost got the team disqualified there, I believe. Ref telling him to clear the ring. Hank fights his way out, elbow to the, and we're going back up again, and down he goes. Bob Cook. They did it. The dastardly doo-woo. They actually pulled it off. Nobody, myself included, thought Bob and Hank would be able to pull that back. The dastardly doo-woo managed to score a victory over RBFS. Now that is how you doo-woo it. The dastardly doo-woo came out here tonight with something to prove, and matrons teats did they ever do that. What a showing. The resilience of that team. Absolutely incredible. I need a drink after that match, but don't go too far, because we will be right back with our main event. Glix, our Sold Clout champion, will defend against the winner of last week's Battle Royal, Teresa Dominguez of the Dangerous Alliance. Will we see another upset, or will Glix continue to hold on to glory? We'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, I just murdered Vegeta with a truck. What the hell is this game? And she came down the stairs, breast in boobily.
I wasn't ready. Woo, that was good.
Nope. I looked at the map, went, where's the boss? Oh, it's that way, and immediately went in the wrong direction. If that is not a perfect example of my sense of direction, I don't know what is. You're the new farmer. I see. No offense, but you look like you've never held a tool in your life. Excuse me, Jim. I am well adept at holding my tool. Thank you very much.
The Flow Guardian, not me.
The God Emperor made me do it!
The God Emperor made me do it. Yes. Oh, can I get away with yelling that in real life, please?
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void-black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the center. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious Internet Championship!
Welcome back to our main event. And here they come, the Dangerous Alliance. Accompanied by her sister Calypso. Seemingly no cracks in this alliance despite the very differing fortunes the Dominguez sisters had in that battle royal, which they were both a part of. Nonetheless, the chance for clout, the chance for glory. Calypso out here wanting to see Teresa reach the pinnacle of achievement. Will not be an easy battle for Teresa, though. She has been an incredible force here in All Influencer Wrestling alongside her sister Calypso. Very, very rarely, though, do we see either sister in singles action. They are so used to having each other in their corner. How will Teresa do facing against our long-standing Soul Clout champion, Glix? We have already had one title belt change hands tonight with the unpredictable Steve Sparks finally managing to knock off the Dream Abel Theron. Will Glix have a nightmare of her own tonight? That's what it's all about. It's all about the clout. And neither competitor is going to be willing to let that go.
The challenger from Harlem, New York, the Latina sensation, Teresa Dominguez. And her opponent from Chroma City, she is the prestigious Internet Champion, the Superstar.
A hard-fought battle ahead of Glix tonight. All eyes on this bout and wondering, will Teresa's tendency to get overconfident, to taunt, to bask in glory be her undoing once again? It cost both of these sisters the tag titles before. Will she be able to keep her focus tonight? Or will Glix be the one to underestimate her opponent? Look at that, Glix taunting to the crowd, and Teresa immediately made her suffer for it. The New York indie scene has been rapidly filling out the All Influencer Wrestling locker room. One competitor in particular will be watching this match with great interest, that being Chen Harper, somebody very, very familiar to the Dominguez sisters, and a contentious relationship, let's say. Showed up to try to beat out those tendencies to showboat, to freestyle, to underestimate their opponents. Chen backstage watching this match intently. Thus far though, Teresa really keeping the focus up on Glix. Look at the speed with which she carried that over. Bounced Glix's head off the corner post. Glix though now dodged out of the way of that grapple attempt. Glix back in control. Shuffle and punch to the spine via trouble. And my word, the athleticism, the way that Teresa is moving around this ring right now, she is a woman on a mission. Bounces off the ropes. Oh, Glix though had that scouted, batted those feet away. Big blow from Glix. Teresa rolls through. Boot to the leg. Glix rolled out and oh my word, dive right over the top rope. And oh, that noise you just heard was Glix's face bouncing off of the old announce table. Down goes the shoulders of Glix into that wooden ship's decking. Teresa did not come to play tonight. She knows she may not get another opportunity like this. Oh, counters though with that knees, and there's those dangerous strikes. Only a 1 count though. Teresa pushing through. Oh, and Glix taunt there baited Teresa, but did not work. Around the corner she goes, and down again. Trying to get inside the head of Teresa Dominguez, but Teresa is focused tonight. She is not letting Glix knock her off her game. Shoulder check to break the momentum there, and there's that big kick again, but double boots sends Glix down to the mat. Right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. No, Glix dug down deep, pulled through. Teresa, though, not letting up the offense, and down she goes again. That snap to the mat. Tried to put a boot to the head. Glix rolled through, out the way. Big flying punch. That gust-assisted punch, the druidic magic of Glix on display. It's come through for her time and time again. Going up to the middle rope. Tried to go, did not get that. Tried to go for the knee. I think she was trying to bait Teresa into a different position, but the Dominguez sister had that seen through. She did not fall for Glix's ploy. Over the shoulder though. Oh, and good night. Sleepy time for Teresa. That may well have done it. No, we have seen Glix end many a match with that maneuver. Teresa, though, not staying down. Rolls out the ring to recover just a little bit. Calypso looking on from the outside. And over she goes. Jump goes Glix. The eagled splendor of our chromatic druid. Glix now really has shifted the momentum of this match. That top rope dive has done some serious damage to Teresa, but she's fighting back through. She's back out. Sends Glix back into the middle of the ring. And there it goes, though, that taunt. Teresa baiting Glix. Glix trying to position behind the ref there a little bit. Body check breaks the momentum. And over she goes, and down comes crashing Glix. Oof, drives Glix's head down to the canvas. She's got to keep this focus up. She cannot let herself get cocky. Booting in, she knows she's got to do more damage to keep Glix down. There's the kip up. Glix still has a lot of fight in her left. And there's Glix taunting herself as well. And Teresa back to the feet. Bounces her off the rope, and up she goes. And my word, the height Teresa got on that. Is that going to do it? She just wrenched Glix's neck around. Oh, Glix, though, able to kick out at 2. Those counts are getting longer, but both competitors still very, very much in this fight. Going back to the well once again, doing a lot of damage to the back of the head of Glix and just putting those, well, not boots. Teresa doesn't wear shoes, but oh, Glix though, small cradle. She's rolled her up. Tried to get that pin out of nowhere. Teresa able to get that through. Oh, go for the big discus lariat, but ducked under. Elbow to the jaw, caught Teresa right on the chin with that. Running knee. Teresa's down, and there's those disrespectful boots to the face. And running knee. We have seen that end matches. Glix has these bursts of speed. Comes out of nowhere. She's gone to the top, and coup de grace. Both boots landed square on the chest of Teresa, but she somehow found the tenacity, the resilience to pull through. But Glix is waiting. Up onto the shoulders, and we're going to see it again. Good night, Teresa. head bounces off the knee. That may well have knocked her clean out, and it has. She powered through her showboat tendencies, but nonetheless, Teresa Dominguez could not get it done. That knee to the face from Glix knocked Teresa out cold. Calypso on the outside. Cannot believe it. Glix continues to hold on to that Sold Clout Championship. One of our two champions still holding the clout. But we have to remember, one of those sets of eyes watching that match backstage was Presri D. Presri still holds the drama bomb, and that is lurking somewhere in Glix's future. What a showcase match for our champions though, and what a show tonight. Steve Sparks finally capturing the clout. An incredible turnaround of fortunes for the Dastardly Daewoo. Tiff scoring that victory. Victoria Holland putting things on the map. And of course, that unexpected victory from the Mother of Pain, managing to put away Jennifer Storio. All of these, I'm sure, will have massive repercussions throughout the rest of the roster. But we now begin our charge towards Overboard. There will be matches held to figure out who gets those coveted final slots in both of those matches. We will see how that resolves as of next week, but for tonight, I've been your Clout Missioner, Captain Tyrion Guidal. We'll see you next time, and remember, stay #out for Clout. Good night.